Okay, so we found the common difference. What's the common difference here? -9. This one. Okay, great. Good job. All right. Find the 3 terms in the sequence after the last one is given. So first of all, is it arithmetic? Yeah, it's -100. And so what are the next 3 terms? Do the next one. Go. Got it? 7, find the explicit formula. The explicit formula says that if we want to know the term number, say the 81st term, can we give a formula such that if we plug in 81, it will give us the next term? And we do have a formula for that. So if it's arithmetic, then the formula is this. A sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus the difference times n minus 1. It looks to like it's similar to, y equals mx plus b. Yes, it's very similar. It's just shifted 1 unit to account for your first term. That's all it is. So, we want to find the explicit formula. We say a sub n is equal to, what's the first term? -22 plus the difference, -200 times n minus 1. So a sub n is -22 minus 200n plus 200, which can be written as 178 minus 200n. So a sub n equals 178 minus 200n is your correct answer. That will generate any term number that we want within that sequence. Make sense? Do the next one. Go. Okay, a sub n is equal to 39 minus 4n. Is that what you had? All right, great. Let's move on to the next one. Find the recursive formula. Recursive formulas are entirely different. Please watch. Recursive formula would say this. A sub n is equal to 2 times a sub n minus 1 plus 3. So what that means is this. Suppose that the first term, a sub 1, is equal to 5. You are wondering what are the next terms of that sequence. Well, I know a sub 1, so I'm looking for a sub 2. So what I do is I take 2 times a sub, what is 2 minus 1? 1 plus 3. So recursive means it requires knowledge of the previous term. So a sub n is the next term. A sub n minus 1 is the previous term. See that? All you would do is you take 2 times 5 is 10 plus 3 is 13. And then, again, you would multiply by 2 and add 3. So 26 plus 3 is 29. Times 2 is 58, so 61, so on and so forth. And you could generate the terms. But you can see it requires knowledge of the first term, doesn't it? Like if I just gave you this, it's like, okay, so I know I take 2 times something, but I don't know what that something is, right? I have no idea. So it says, in this situation, I want to write a recursive formula. So what do I do to the previous term each time? I subtract 2. So the next term is simply the previous term minus 2. But that's a vague recursive formula. because I do not know where to start. So I have to tell it that a sub 1 is 10. Now I could generate all the rest of the terms, couldn't I? Quick do 10. This whole thing is your answer. Yep, you need to write the formula, and then you also need to write a sub 1 is 10, your first term. Yes. And Maddie Steele is always the smartest. What is SISU? Super Intellectual Seismic University. Wow. I'm going to go to school there. A sub n is equal to the previous term, what? Plus 200, where a sub 1 is equal to 23. Got it? Yes. Oh, yes. Minus 1. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Everybody freaks out. Wow. We could do partial fractions instead today if you'd like. So, all right. Let's go back to this. Find the term named in the problem. I'm looking for a sub 40. So, if I'm looking for a specific term, I don't want a recursive formula. I want an explicit formula. So, first of all, what is the difference? Negative 10. So a sub n is equal to your first term, negative 39, minus 10 times n minus 1. Now, you could combine terms if you would like, but it's simply asking for the 40th term. So what can I plug in for n right now? 40. So a sub 40, or the 40th term, is negative 39 minus 10 times 40 minus 1. Work it out. What do you get? Is negative 429? Yep. Okay. Look at the next one. What's the difference here? Negative 30. So a sub n is the first term, negative 27, minus 30 times n minus 1. Again, you could write an explicit formula then in simplified form, but why waste the time? Let's just plug in 40. Can somebody give me a result there from their calculator? Negative what? Good. Do the next two on your own. Go. All right. Somebody give me an answer. And negative what? Are we okay with that? Radians and degrees don't matter right here. So, 2 plus 2 is 4 whether you're in radians or degrees. So, but in mod 2, 2 plus 2 is equal to 0. Later, Sam. All right, flip it over. Cross these 2's off. They don't matter. Okay, arithmetic has a common difference. Geometric has a common ratio, meaning it's multiplied by the same number every time. So look at 17. You multiply by the same number every time to get the next term. What number? -3. So yes, and the ratio is -3. Do the other 3. Go. Getting a little stuffy in here, isn't it? We're also supposed to be 80. Okay, how about that? Is that what you got? All right, find the 3 terms in the sequence after the last one given. Okay, we'll just do one of these. Let's just do number 22. Okay. What's the r value? What are you multiplying by each time? R is equal to 5, so therefore you're going to multiply each one by 5. So -500 times 5 is going to be -2500. -2500 times 5 is going to be -1 or -12,500. And -12,500 times 5 is going to be -62,500. Pretty easy, right? Okay, let's try something different then. Find the recursive formula. So a sub n is equal to what do you do to the previous term to get the next term in this one? Multiply by 6. So we take 6 times the previous term. What do I also have to provide? The first term. A sub 1 is -1. Look at the next one. Different sequence. But what is the rule? What are you multiplying by? So it's the same rule. So then how do we get different results? Different starting point. A sub 1 is equal to dose. Hey, Nikki! Add up the numbers 1 through 100. Go. Squirrel man! She didn't freak out. You know why? She's used to it. Find the explicit formula. Explicit formula is different for a sub n is equal to a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1. That is your explicit formula for a geometric sequence, different than recursive. I don't think I have any problems in your assignment that ask for recursive. I just brought them up because they do come up from time to time. No. I want to make testing simple. Okay. Find the explicit formula. Well, a sub n is equal to the first term 4 times, what's the ratio? 2 to the n minus 1. This is an acceptable answer. However, some of your books will write it differently. They will say 4 can be written as a base of 2. A sub n is equal to 2 squared times 2 to the n minus 1. So what do you do to exponents when you're multiplying? And what is n minus 1 plus 2? So these are actually the same answers. A sub n is 2 to the n plus 1, or a sub n is equal to 4 times 2 to the n plus 1, or n minus 1. I would accept either or. Most people are just writing the first one. It doesn't really matter. You do the next one. Go. that what you got? That's all there is to it. Okay, now find the term named in the problem. We'll just do two of these because they're nice and straightforward. A sub n is equal to the first term, 4 times, what's the ratio? 2 to the n minus 1. It's asking me to find term number 11, so we just plug in 11. A sub 11 is equal to 4 times 2 to the 11 minus 1 would be 10. Plug in your calculator. 4 times 2 to the 10th power is 4,096. Do 28 quick. Go. Five to the eighth is done and done. Here's your assignment. Go.